Cool.
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
I'm going to take that as a yes. So, welcome back, everyone, to our latest episode of Curse of Strahd with the Mistaken. On the last episode, a few of the party members had some strange dreams. They received a mysterious letter covered in a strange greenish-blue fluid. They were invited to a meal at the Wacht house, but were able to decide when, and they decided breakfast. They then decided they were going to visit the stockyard, where they bought some clothes, and investigated Rictavio's wagon, in which they found the death of Vistani, aka an armored saber-toothed tiger, in said wagon. And there may have been some developments in the party after Octavian lied to Sigma about the name and meaning of this particular creature. And as they left the stockyard to potentially go consult Rictavio or perhaps head to the Wacht house, depending, they ran into Ernst, who was very worn out after basically running around the entire town looking for them to deliver the acceptance from Lady Wacht. And that is where we ended off, so I think I'm going to take us to the Velaki town map, because that makes the most sense.
It seems like my connection is weird. Give me a moment. Joining the game. Sorry, it was doing something weird to me where it didn't let me log in.
Odd.
Now it's
Right.
Sorry.
Right, are we going to the breakfast? Right, that's where we're going.
We wanted to detour on the way up.
Oh, of course you do. Why not? It's not like I've ran over town for you.
It's on the way, it's just to the inn.
Oh, fine. You can buy me a pint or something.
Deal.
This early? Wait, pint? Don't they have only wine?
Yeah, pints
Yeah,
of
which
wine.
is served in pints. Where have you been?
Not in Velaki.
Right. To the inn. Oh my God.
At
Why
dawn,
can't you guys
we,
leave a message of where you're going? Oh God. You guys should not be upstairs. Let me move you outside.
I apologise. I didn't think of the message.
Yeah. Yep. Just get you on. Oh, where are we going? Where are we moving around? I was trying. Oh, sure. Okay. Who am I missing? I feel like I'm missing a party member. I'm missing Misha.
Oh, that's why I don't have vision.
Yeah. I was just saying I'm missing someone at this point. I drag you out and drag out. They are in that one. Yeah. There you go. Drag them out. And Ernst, who is in that one? Right, we're at the pub. Oh, God, let's go inside and... Yeah. Ernst just sort of looks at the bartenders and is just like, "It's lot, owe me a drink. So, you know what I like? So, chop chop."
Oh,
Erwin looks at you and is just like, "Ugh, is that right? Do you owe him a drink? Is that the truth?"
what's the cost?
Same cost as it always is. Uh, uh,
It's
which-
fine. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
I was adjusting so I could take it off my character sheet. So
Yeah.
I can't remember. Is it a silver?
Yeah. No. It's something like that. Yeah. For the good stuff, it's a silver.
Yeah, I'll buy him a bunch of stuff. He's earned it.
All right. And it just so happens that you are quite fortunate with your timing, because Octavio appears to be currently eating his breakfast.
You know what?
As Ernst sips on his drink.
I'll knock another 2 silver off and have 2 pints. I fancy a drink. Give one to.
Sure, why not? Ernst is just sort of collapsed in a chair. It's like, yeah, take your time. You probably got, what, like half an hour before breakfast? Plenty of time to have a drink and get there. Yeah, and God, I deserve to get paid extra for this.
Maybe bring that up with Lady Wachter.
I might do. Anyway.
I'll take me 2 pints over and ask Octavio if I can have a seat.
Of course. Take a seat, old chap.
I'll slide him a pint.
Thank you. My glass was empty, so a replacement is most fitting. I would have ordered one myself. Now, I assume you're not just buying me a drink to be civil, so what brings the party of adventurers knocking at my table?
Well, we decided to have a look at the stock market this morning.
Very fine place. A bit overpriced, but you can get some good stuff there if you know what to say and what to ask for.
Yeah, we had a couple of purchases, but then there was this rather elegant wagon that was making a rather large amount of noise. I'll just give him a very sort of knowing look.
And I suppose it is said noise that you wish to speak about. And considering your demeanor, I have a feeling that it is more than just what is in there, but a why as well.
That would be the question, yes.
Well.
I mean, you have one less thing to say. You don't have to feed it.
Well, that saves me some time, though I need to head that way anyway. Right, I don't have room for all of you up there, so I can explain it to, say, 2 of you if you'll follow me.
I mean, I'll take a look at parting of anyone else coming or who.
Sigma will follow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go up and. I have a
Greed.
Palmoth and Greed following me.
Yeah.
Yeah, go away. Alright.
Stand at the door. Be our guards.
He walks down to the bottommost room, mutters something under his breath, and opens the door. Right, come in. There's not a lot of room, but it's
Apologies for the,
private.
Shut the door behind me. Apologies for the.
Right, so what exactly do you know, and what do you want to know?
Well, I'll sort of give Sigma a look. Go. We want to know if it's safe.
For you, yes. For the
But-
town, mostly.
Sort of give me a questioning look.
That depends exactly who is in town.
I think I know what you're referring to.
Precisely.
If it's a danger to people, why do you keep it?
It is a danger to the people I want it to be a danger to. I don't particularly owe you any explanation, but I imagine you're not going to stop hounding me until I do, and considering your allegiance, I would imagine your immediate desire is to exterminate said beast, correct?
Sigmund's eyes are narrowed at Octavio, as if he said something. For once, you're seeing Sigma's like look. Sigma looks like he's the one looking at a monster, with his eyes like narrowed, like
Now,
as he's sort of like watching Octavio, and he says, "Why would you need it to be a danger to someone?"
because they are a danger to others, and I've created a weapon to deal with them, ready to be unleashed when its training is complete. Why would your organization need to create you who could be a danger to people if let off the leash?
I mean, Octavian just sort of head back and forth between the two, sort of a strong, very strong look of confusion at that point.
Ah,
Am I missing something?
He intends the beast to murder.
I intend the beast to exterminate an infestation of vile creatures who work for vampires. And that's not just speculation on my part based on hearsay and rumor. That is based on cold, solid fact. However, I am not a monster who would unleash it on any particular member of said group. There are certain ones that I am targeting, those responsible for the vampirization and subsequent death of my son.
I'm not privy to this conversation, am I?
No.
Unless you're at the door with your ear to the doorway.
Yes.
Like
Oh no,
glass at the
sorry. I
door.
thought I didn't know if we all went in, but
No,
just haven't been there.
just the two.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yes.
I just picture Greed sitting with like a glass at the door now.
No, he doesn't care that much.
Because a cure is not possible, and for the sake of his soul, and at his own request, I was forced to bring my son's life to an end because of the actions of the Vistani.
Sigma's head tilts, just like say, and he just calmly goes, "You're mistaken. Not everything has been tested."
Not everything has been tested indeed, but what has been tested has come no closer to curing it than I have of killing Strahd. In fact, I'm probably closer to doing that than any chance of a cure. There may, in the future, be methods, but keeping someone alive whilst craving blood and yet unable to have it for the sake of their soul and their own self is not a worthy goal. If a cure was developed suddenly, then use it on every vampire you like. But until then, the best way to deal with a monster, even one that did not intend to become one, is to eliminate it before it does something worse. I would have thought that one such yourself would have had such lessons beaten into you by your trainers. That's why I'm surprised to see one such as your companion downstairs still standing. Not because of you, of course. I doubt you see any danger in them, but for those with the sight, there are certainly dangers for them.
Who are you referring to?
Your other monster hunting companion.
They are light brand.
Yes. I am quite aware of their allegiance and their familial ties.
So what's the issue with him being here?
There is no issue with him necessarily being here. There is an issue with what he is, or more, what is within him. But that is not necessarily my place to say. They have not been willing to tell you. Perhaps there is something I'm not aware of that keeps them safe.
Well,
But
if you were to keep a beast, and that beast is to kill someone innocent, you know the payment that must be done.
of course. But there will be no need to worry about that. I will be leaving today.
You could have us deal with your problem rather than risk.
I will consider it, but for now, as my identity has potentially been exposed, I must leave town for its own safety. I am aware of your actions at the church. Let's just say if my identity was found out, there would be much worse coming than a few vampire spawn.
You mean Strahd himself, then?
That, or perhaps some of his brides, or some of his stronger forces. There are many dangers in Ravenloft and in other areas of power and renown, including the ruins of Argynvost.
Ruins of Argynvost?
A place that I would recommend the two monster hunters visiting at some point when they feel they are ready to confront their organization's past.
Look, Octavian, your family? I don't know the right term. Have been here before?
Sigma will shrug. Like he has no clue.
I will simply say that Argynvost has become incorrectly known as an Order of the Silver Dragon. Their that place's allegiance goes to a much higher being. I'm sure you can guess what that is. But for now, if there is nothing else, I must begin to prepare for my departure. An annoyance, particularly with the difficulties of getting out of town at the moment, but I have my methods.
Sorry to pull you away from your meal. It's just
No, you...
thought it best to speak to you directly regardless.
You
May
did the
I
right
see-
thing.
Where did you get wounded?
He rolls up his sleeve and shows a mark on his arm.
As he sort of, as Sigma sort of pulls up, and you see as he stands like prim and proper. You've seen Sigma stand this way like a few separate times of just like very like matter of fact at attention, which Sigma's done most of this time since Misha pulled him away. As he says in a calm, collected voice, like flat. Do make sure any beasts under your care are not unleashed against those that don't deserve it. Lest you
That is
find yourself
why-
on the other side.
That is why we train our beasts when we use them.
But the best of training may break.
Of course, which is why you have to be certain that you can deal with the beast, should it be necessary. And I am capable of doing so.
Does he seem capable?
Give me, I guess, an insight check, I would say, or...
Insight or medicine would probably be the two that would make sense. Like either judging his.
Yeah, he, as he says... Wow, okay, as he says this, he, flicks open his cane slightly, revealing that it is actually a sword cane with an obviously silvered blade.
Raven just looks at it and goes, "I want one."
And his build and poise, and general demeanor, now that he is speaking, make it very clear he is quite able of handling himself. I have trained with many of the light brands, and should you ask any of them, should they know my actual name or face, then you would know that I am definitely more than capable. The one thing I am not capable of yet is dealing with the devil himself. The time will come.
Very well.
Of course, thank you for the information. And apologies for disturbing your breakfast.
It is fine. He thinks for a moment and then goes, should the unthinkable happen to one of your party and their body is not damaged beyond repair, feel free to seek me out, and I may be able to assist once. Unfortunately, I cannot say where I will be going, but look, and the light brand should be able to find me. Now, if you wouldn't mind leaving, I need to pack.
Of course. Thank you for your time, and Octavian will give him a slight bow.
Sigma gives him the proper the hunter salute that a lower level hunter would give a higher level hunter before leaving.
Yes. And you just hear him mutter as you leave Sigma. And you might react to this. He just sort of mutters, so that's Dahlia's latest project. Interesting.
Yeah, I'll head out.
Right, and whilst that's going on, Misha has headed outside to the well. So, right, I assume you can see your token now, right?
Yeah, it works now.
Cool.
But yeah, Misha is going over to the well, and he's holding this sermon about lights shining over the water and remove the impurities, casting purify food and drink, so people can maybe safely use the well.
Okay, in this case, you're a charisma caster. Roll me a charisma check. Just straight charisma check.
That will be a 21.
Okay, that is. There seems to be, which you've obviously would have seen this spell being used before. It's fairly new to yourself because obviously you've basically gained access to it on your journeys here. But generally, whenever you've seen it used, the effect has been instantaneous and just works. In this case, it's almost like the water resists for a few moments before that sort of thicker liquid sort of fades away.
Weird. Do I have something to put the water in?
There is a bucket at the
Yeah.
left.
How did people describe the water again? What happens when they drink it?
Normally, it makes them ill, like very quickly. At least some it does.
I will fill a bucket and see what the water looks like. Does it look like water?
The water now looks perfectly fine. It looks like normal water, and your purification effect has almost put a slight sheen over it. So it's actually probably because obviously it's in a well, it's potentially not being the best maintained at times, so there would have been some natural impurities in it, like
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's why a lot of people boiled their water. But in this case, you'd say it's just straight good for drinking, no parasites, no poisons, no anything of that, at least nothing that you can tell from a visual look.
So if they were to boil it, it would be safe for sure, but it looks great for now.
Yes, boiling. If they boiled the normal well water after your
Before the-
purification.
Oh, after, yeah.
Sorry, let me try to explain it. So before whatever this effect was that was on the water
Yeah.
was present, they would have potentially boiled the water and then let it cool just to remove any potential impurities. They might not have, but
Yeah.
you know, some people like to be with the strange liquid sort of thing that you think that wouldn't have worked because it only seems to have been your magic that has been able to drive that away. That makes sense. But
Okay, yeah.
now, at least for the time being, the water would be fine to drink, you know, just straight away without any need for any form of like preparation to or filtering or anything.
Do I have the idea that there still might be some taint at the bottom of the well?
Give me a perception or survival check.
Oh, I'm proficient in survival. That's good enough. 13?
Looking at the bottom, you can see just maybe like some natural like silt, like which would just naturally be there from you know, just water in general. The water looks fine itself, though you would suspect if because you were out in the rain previously and you saw some of like the slightly different water in the rain.
Yeah.
That maybe when it rains again, the well will become no longer safe to drink.
Okay, so I will at least advise the innkeeper. Yeah, the well is safe for today. Someone needs to check tomorrow.
He nods and goes, "Well, that's good to hear. I mean, wine is, of course, our business, but being able to provide fresh water that doesn't make people ill would be another boon."
Or at the very least, something for cooking. If you need a soup, using wine is gonna be expensive.
That is true. That is true, particularly with the shortages as they are. If anything, he sort of glances around and sort of leans over to you. If anything, we might have to start, as much of a pain and an insult it will be to the wine, we may have to start thinning it out in order to make it last, at least till the shipment gets here.
The shipment will get through.
Yeah. Let's
that's
hope
gonna
so.
be after the festival, I fear. Okay.
Yes. But thank you. Tonight, should you come back again, your rooms will be on the house tonight.
I do appreciate it, but I think I'll be taking a rest at church.
That is
No
fine. Well, for any of your companions who wish to stay here, they can. For those who don't, will, if you decide to stay at the church, we'll have some food sent over.
We're very appreciative of that. Thank you.
All right. Well, Ernst, the spy, just sort of looks over to the rest of you and just like, all right, we done? Yeah, done your fancy chats and are ready to go? Because we don't get going, we're going to be late, and, well, you don't want to keep the lady waiting.
You said we had half an hour until the breakfast, right?
Yes, but we still got a little bit of a walk yet. And better to arrive early than late.
Yep, I will drink my pint of wine that I haven't been able to really have a chance to touch yet. And return the glass.
Alright. And then we will return. Oh, actually, I'm just going to take you straight to the Wacht house map, I think, because that's, unless you're doing anything else beforehand.
Sigma would just sort of silently like step behind Misha, and then like leaning behind Misha's shoulder and like whispering into his ear, tell them everything that happened upstairs.
Okay. Alright. Greed, anything you wanted to do before we head to the Wacht house?
I don't believe I have anything to do here.
Okay. Alright, and we shall head over to the Wacht house. Misha and Palmar's tokens already there. Let me get the rest of the party out. I see, I do wonder why I don't just put right, right, that should be everyone, I believe. And then I'm just going to set Irina on following Misha, and I'll set Palmer on following Greed. All right. Welcome to the Wacht house. Please follow me, and I will take you through to the dining area. Right. Right. So just to remind you guys of what this looks like. The house almost seems disgusted with itself. A slouching roof hangs heavy over furrowed gables, and moss-covered walls sag and bulge under the weight of the vegetation. As you study the house's sullen countenance, you hear the edifice actually groan. Only then do you realize the extent to which the house hates what it has become. Front door opens into a narrow vestibule. 3 stained glass doors in wooden frames lead from it. Sort of stops and knocks at one. Coming in, your ladyship, I brought the guests. Yes, come in, hurry up. Did we kept me waiting long enough? Oh, no, yes, all will be well and all that. Right. Oh, Miss Stella, I was not expecting to see you up and about. It's nice to see you. I'll allow the group to introduce themselves. As for me, I am going to go through to the sitting room and, well, do what I normally do. Oh yeah, that's the handout.
Sigma will stand matter-of-factly behind Misha.
Right. Welcome everyone to my home. My name is Fiona Wachter. You have already met my sons, Carl and Nikolai. What else? Oh yes, please get yourself comfortable. The chef will be through with your breakfast shortly. And as you walk in, an ornate dining table stretched the length of this room, a crystal chandelier hanging above it imperiously. The silverware is tarnished, the dishes chipped, yet all are still quite elegant. 8 chairs, their backs adorned with sculpted elk-horns, surround the table. Arch windows made of a latticework of iron and glass look out onto the small fog-swept estate. Oh. Right. Right. Yeah. Right. As I said, everyone feel free to take a seat. There's slightly more of you than I was expecting, but that is fine.
Sigma
Carl,
will hold up.
Nikolai, you don't
hold
eat
up
at the table anyway. Go sit over there. Right. Everyone take a seat. This is supposed to be a nice dinner. I realize perhaps not all of you may eat. Some of you are strange creatures I have not seen before, but... right. Now, I believe Ernst has to some extent informed you of what my purpose is in inviting you here.
Dealings in business.
Precisely. Now, I believe you are quite capable from your demeanor and equipment, and the fact that you have survived traveling through the hinterlands, and apparently helped the guards with some infestation at the coffin makers, which honestly no great loss at that building being burned down. Right. So, what sort of business are you in? Is it just the killing of monsters, or are you more heroic types?
I will let Greed speak.
As a party, we have quite a unique set of skills, per se. We're a rather... He looks around at the rest of people at the table. We're a ragtag bunch. But we... Well, it depends on what you're asking for.
Well, I suppose... Let me think how to phrase this. Firstly, what can a lady like myself do for your group that you'll be willing to do something for me? Is it money you're after, or something more?
I don't think within this town money is much of an issue, as everything is quite rightly overpriced everywhere here, apparently.
Yes.
However, information, I'm sure, would definitely be welcome to all of us.
Information, you say? And what kind of information would that be?
He looks at Lady Wachter and just kind of gives a narrowed glance. Out of curiosity, Lady Wachter, what exactly is your allegiance with the Strahd of this land? Out of character, I'm not actually sure if we've asked this question, but
we haven't actually spoken with her.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Oh, no, you just dropped.
We only know rumors and she wasn't too fond of having visitors unannounced.
I see. Okay. No, that's all fine. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Now,
Agree will ask the question.
that is a rather interesting question. What would bring up such a question, I wonder?
Well, it seems that he's on everyone's minds, but not on everyone's lips around this area. Everyone is rather hush-hush.
That is certainly true.
And I'm curious, because if I am to do business within this place, I'd like to know who I'm really doing business with.
You are a rather shrewd creature.
Oh, stop it.
Well, my family, in the distant past, owe a certain amount of favor to the one known as the Devil around Barovia. He has provided our family with land, wealth, power in the past. But nowadays, of course, one must respect a certain amount of the status quo. And he is a powerful being, worthy of respect and fear. And should he wish for assistance, and he is willing to provide the right amount of incentive, then any shrewd business person would be at least inclined to listen.
Of course.
That's not to
Business is
say
an-
that I have allegiance or not.
But the
Simply
cards are
that-
always on the table.
Exactly. And as is no secret, if it was between the current leader of this town and a change in leadership, even to one such as Strahd, that would be within everyone's best interest, in my opinion.
Of course.
What
Go.
what is your problem with the Burgermeister?
Well, for one, these honestly pointless and insipid festivals constantly, every week, we have to have a festival of some kind, whether it's for slaying wolves, catching fish, worshipping the sun. Honestly, I feel if someone farted in the right place, they'd probably declare a festival for it. And then, of course, the forced smiling, the no one being able to talk out of turn.
It's
I mean,
slightly drab.
I'm all for people in power having the power and keeping the little people downtrodden. After all, that's the best way to make profit off of the poor, is to keep them that way. But you can go too far, and as for the rumors, well, that, if true, would make him perhaps an even worse villain than Strahd. Assuming you consider Strahd a villain, most do.
But do you?
I consider him a being worthy of respect, who simply does what needs to be done. as should we all.
I was really hoping she'd say asset.
Uh,
She said my line.
Yes. But what's the right terminology? Strahd's favor is certainly a valuable asset.
As it would be to anyone who ruled the land around you.
Precisely.
Control the land, control the people.
Yes, and as many have said, he is ancient and he is the land.
Now, that I think is just a little bit up himself about, but that's not my business.
Well, certainly a possibility.
Sigma will lean in and ask calmly, would you happen to have a washroom?
Yes, I believe we do. Let me just remind myself where it is. I very rarely have to use it. Actually worth me double checking because sounds like this place should be, but
Or a vanity, anything I have. And Sigma sort of pulls up like a tangled bit of hair. I just want to get this knot out. As he sort of looks over at Greed.
I'm actually looking at the map, and it's kind of funny. I don't think there is one, but yes, if you're seeking to relieve yourself, there's an outhouse outside. Other than that, the only vanity of sorts would be in my bedroom, and unfortunately, I can't be allowing strangers in there. The rumors would spread, but there's of course the dinner plates if you need a mirror.
More like Lady Thotter, am I right?
Not a term I'm familiar with, but
Does it look like this house has other servants, or does it look like Ernst is like walking around doing basically everything?
no, literally as soon as he got in, Ernst basically walked into another room which looked rather fancy and just sat down with a goblet of wine. A few moments later, asking that question, a servant walks out of a back room. Halik, go help David in the kitchen. The meal should be ready by now. Where are the others? They're just getting ready, your ladyship. They wanted to be, well, ready. And she heads out to kitchen. There does appear to be other servants. And
Sigma,
another
you need
name
to
has been
excuse
mentioned.
yourself?
Repeat that, Zay. I could not quite hear you.
Did you need to excuse yourself? I can hand you a mirror. And I'm holding out my steel mirror that I have in my pocket equipment.
Yeah, I'll use that, and I will just use the little silver comb that I've had. As Sigma will look at Misha, look at the servants, and like sort of use his eyes to motion towards himself. Like Misha's able to do something here, but he's not quite saying it explicitly out loud.
I don't understand as a person. Sorry.
Feel free to whisper it to them if you.
Sigma sort of like is implying that technically speaking, you can treat Sigma as a merchant and tell him to assist the other servants.
Oh. I sort of. I'm not sure if I want to do that unless it is that you need to do this to snoop around. Uh,
Yeah. That is. You would be able to see like the twitch in Sigma's like ears. He's twitchy. You've known him a while at this point.
Okay. What was her name again? Fiona?
Fiona.
Fiona. Or rather, Mem Boxer. Your servants appear to be in need of a hand. Would you mind if Sigma, our friend, who has been trained in household affairs as well, gave them some assistance?
Well, I suppose if they want to, or they would appreciate the help. Though, to be honest, it's their job. So, but you do as you wish. Just
You heard the lady.
yes, go speak with David in the kitchen. They will be able to instruct you.
Kitchen would be there?
No, the way the servants went.
Oh, okay.
Sigma will sort of politely make sure all the doors are shut because no one closed them.
Ooh.
While all this has been going on, Octavian is trying to get the hand with a puppet on it to hold a knife.
It's at this point that Fiona notices the puppet and just sort of stares for a moment and goes, "Why do you have a puppet of Strahd on your hand?"
I apologize. It's a and I will try and pull it off to no avail. It's a cursed item.
It's a Blinsky.
Well, firstly, you're a bit of a fool for dealing with Blinsky, particularly if they're handling cursed items, and, well, would have thought grown beings such as yourselves would not have the need for toys, but I'm not one to judge, I suppose, too much.
I bought it for my children.
Now, that is a more reasonable excuse. Right. Yes. Right, where were we? Oh, yes. So, you said about information greed. What sort of information did you want?
Right, out of character, what kind of stuff are we looking for? Because Greed has his own thing that he can ask for. Is there
We were
anything in
looking for
particular?
where who got the crates in to.
Oh yeah, the Vasily guy that I don't know or haven't heard about yet.
The other Vasily, it's from the contract, but the Wachters would know how those would have gotten into town.
The Vasily.
Basically, the party found a contract for signed by someone named Vasily about getting the crates into the town, basically, for the plan with them.
Right. In that case, Greed will say there's a few things.
There always is.
Are you aware of any shipments coming in from outside of Barovia? Through the mists?
Through the mist themselves? Well, the only ones who can travel through the mists are those with Strahd's express permission or the Vistani.
Does the name Vasily ring any bells?
Roll me an insight check. Anyone in the room?
Mine's not great.
Yeah, I'll give it a roll as well.
Yeah, 10 on me.
Seven.
Okay,
My passive insight's 14.
yeah, but that's not going to be enough. I'll roll Palmars. It's not going to be, well, to be honest. Yeah. And then I guess I'll roll Irina's or Esme's. They're here. Nope. Okay, none of you are able to get a read on them. Vasily. No, well, it's quite a common name in the area, but not one that particularly rings any bells as for recent shipments, at least. I believe
I
my
see.
family may have dealt with a Vasily at one point in the distant past, but not myself.
Well, if any information does come up, we would very much like share some information with them as well.
Interesting. Well, if it was getting goods in and out of the town, that would be perhaps a different story. But as for the mist, that is a bit beyond my scope.
I see. Very well. Can't be helped.
Yeah.
Did any?
I will mention just quickly, she did, whether you guys decide to act on this or not, I'm not sure if it was picked up. She did mention rumors about the Burgomaster, but didn't elaborate on that. So
I'm happy to ask about that in a moment once we've got the face level.
Yeah.
I have a... Oh, sorry, go on.
We can get to me later, but Sigma was going to try to maybe pay the servants for information.
Okay. Alright.
Or see how much. First, he's going to ask how much they're paid, like their average rate. Like as he's sort of like assisting, however they need him to, just out of like curiosity.
Yeah. Oh, I'll just do that quickly. Just give you time to think. One of them goes, well, us servant girls, we get paid an electrum piece or two a week. David, as the chef, gets paid a bit more, from what I understand.
Hmm.
We are treated very well. We have a place to sleep, wine when we need it, and a roof over our heads.
Are the Wachters good to you?
Lady Wachter is fantastic. The best emperor in Vallaki.
I'm gonna insight her to see if she's telling the truth or putting on a facade.
That's a
They
good
seem
point.
to be being...
Are they smiling as well?
No. One of the things I will say you would notice about this household is when Carl and Nikolai were outside at the pub, they were very smiley, and when Lady Fiona greeted Misha at the door, they became smiley very quickly. But in here, they are not like forcing the smile like you've seen others do. But yes, with that 13, they seem to be being very honest. And Davitt, the chef, just goes, I chopped something. I got the best ingredients to cook with for the finest palates. Couldn't ask for anything more.
Is there any of them in particular that seem more or less like who seems the least
not
fervent?
particularly. Like none of them really they almost seem to have like the same sort of disposition towards her. Like as soon as one of them said it, the others two are nodding in ready agreement. And if anything, I would say of the people you have met that work for Lady Proctor, the most likely you would say to betray would be Ernst, as he seems to have a greed about him.
Sigma will, because the servants weren't quite told what's going on. He will go. He will look for like any like a wine bottle, and he'll start pouring some to take to Ernst, like just sort of silently, like he was asked to do so, because that's kind of what they're doing. So.
Yeah, they'll start like this one will start taking out plates of food for the table and putting them out.
Where did Ernst go?
Ernst went into the top room at the top of the dining hall.
Sort of. Okay, then I would have to pass through.
Yeah, went into the den.
Okay, then I wouldn't do that. Okay.
I will briefly return to the others, giving you a little bit of time to think.
Yeah.
Lady Fiona looks at the food. Please help yourselves. If there's anything you don't like, I'm sure we've got something you will, and we can have it prepared. Madalena, go help in the kitchen. We will call you if needed. She nods and heads in the kitchen.
The one
Right.
the blonde?
Yeah.
Did she look like she was like a maid? Like she would be fixing
she went.
drawers and things?
She went upstairs.
Can I follow her to assist?
You certainly can. Yes.
Just move me where
yeah,
she
the
went.
stairs
and
are
I'll,
just
like,
in.
I will have just followed her wherever she went and like leaned over her shoulder and said, "I was asked to assist you all in your duties."
Yeah. So just through here and up these stairs.
Okay.
Yes. I'll say that this door's open. Right. Let me just do this. This is this.
That's a lot of cats.
Yep.
Oh no.
So, this room is crawling with cats. Bookshelves hug the walls, but most of the shelves are bare. Other furnishings include a desk, a chair, a table, and a wine cabinet. The room has an irregular shape, and none of its angles seem quite right, as though the shifting of the house has set the whole place on edge. 8 cats have the run of the library.
The angles aren't right. Are they acute or obtuse?
The cats are all acute.
And you would also notice that one of the cats, Sigma, has a small key hanging from its collar.
Oh no.
It's this one.
I look at I can let you get back to everyone else. I interrupted for a moment. I was just
Yep. Yeah, it's fine. All right. So, you obviously have asked about shipping through the mist, something I'm unable to assist with, but I don't want to be asking things of you if there's nothing I can return, so is there anything else information I can provide?
Mm,
Nothing I can.
so, oh, go. Go.
Another thing I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
I do have something. I have a item in which I have been waiting for a sign of where perhaps I need to deliver it to. Perhaps you may know, as you're aware of this land.
I can
And
certainly.
Greed will wave over to Palmar, who will produce a chest. Will take out a key from beneath his armor and unlock it, lifting it up. Greed will take out this clothed item in a similar silk to what his clothes and his shawl is, and will place it down on the table and will unwrap it to reveal the amber.
Alright, let's give them and tell. I can actually do it with that, yeah. I'm gonna give them this check. Not something that I'm aware of, I'm afraid, and such a large piece of amber. However, it takes some work to do anything with, and there are not any jewelers of that capability in Valarki, though you may find better luck in Kresk.
In Kresk, is there anyone you'd recommend to keep an eye out for?
Well, the person with the most influence there would likely be the abbot themselves, and they are also supposed to be quite knowledgeable. I have not had the opportunity to travel that way myself, but, well, rumors have even said, and they sort of lean in almost conspiratorially, I suppose. Let me on myself. Yes, it's there are rumors that, well, for the right price, they're even capable of bringing back the dead.
I see.
Yes.
Very powerful indeed.
Yes. And very knowledgeable. But other than that, no. No one springs to mind, I'm afraid.
Well, I appreciate the information anyway.
Certainly.
I'm sure our path is leading us that way, so I shall go and have a word with the abbot.
I suppose at this point, I should simply ask the question, what would you do? What would you be willing to do to help the people of this town?
Well, it's not my town, really. You should ask my companions. They're the people-friendly people.
Oh. Looks to the others. What would you be willing to do to aid this town?
I mean, it depends what's required of us.
Murder!
What do you have
They-
in mind to assist the people?
Removing an obstacle.
Burgermeister?
Not exactly, but removing an obstacle that prevents his removal.
Is it
Bodyguard.
the guards?
Yes.
I mean, that I'd do for free. He's one.
Oh, he seems to have
Oh.
business with us as well, so that's going to be interesting.
Yes, if you are able to, well, rid the town of his ilk, then I can remove the Burgermaster in due course. But
Question is,
unfortunately,
the question
yes.
is, what can you do that would benefit the town more so than the Burgermeister does? What are your plans?
Well, first of all, I'm not going to force people to be happy. I'm not going to lock people up just for failing to smile. I'm not going to make people disappear.
I mean, that is a
Rumors.
very low bar still.
True. But even if you consider me to be a low bar, if I'm higher, surely that's an improvement. Am I not correct?
Just because you are removing one of the evils or bad things about this town doesn't mean you can replace them with something else.
Anything I do will not take away people's free will. It will make this town prosperous. Though, even if you were not to replace... actually, no, rephrase that. And if not me, who would be able to take control of this town should something happen to the Burgomaster? Would one of you rule it justly and fairly and without any hint of darkness in this land?
I'm sure that Octavian would. He's very much a people person, and he's been in charge of many a men before.
Octavian sort of inclines his head towards greed as a acknowledgement on that one. I'm not saying that it should be one of us. I'm not saying the slightest. However, we need to make sure what we do will actually help the people of the town and not just replace. And again, I mean no disrespect on this, but not replace one tyrant for another. And I've seen it happen many times. One person is removed from power with someone to take their place who at first seems just, but is then corrupted by that power.
That is a fair question, but unfortunately, without being put into that position, there is no real way to tell what sort of leader I will be. But you are more than willing to talk to my family, talk to those who work for me, and see if I am a tyrant.
I mean no disrespect with my words. I just...
It's best to be sure you know who you're working with.
And I'll apologise and say I'm a simple man. I'm a simple military man. I take
It is
my orders,
fine.
I give orders. I apologise.
It is fine.
Bluntness, but
The fact is, tyranny can have its uses, but I find a town that has its own free will to do things, and for those things to be rewarded adequately, leads to a greater profit than keeping someone down through force or threats.
That's quite a just way to put it, I'd say.
yes. Octavian will sort of throw an acknowledgement to her and apologise again.
No, you are quite right to raise the question. After all, you don't know me, I don't know you, but it seems that perhaps what I need of you is not something that, well, whilst you have your issues with Izek, that perhaps it is not, you are not the right group to deal with him. If on occasion it is necessary to get your hands dirty for the right, to get things done, but one of the biggest issues would be if you were to deal with Izek, then you would likely have to leave town very quickly. After all, unless you do it in some sort of subtle manner that isn't caught, and no offense, none of you look really skilled at assassination.
Did you not see our freaky friend?
I mean, I'm gonna do some. Yeah. Just because it's gonna be funny to do this. I'm gonna look her sort of dead in the eye and just go.
Stab her in the face.
No. Some of us are more. Skilled at espionage and sneaking around than you would think, and I will wild shape into a cat.
Oh. Not a spider?
No, I'm going to turn into a cat. I think the spider's a bit, I'm
That's
stood
too
next to
wide.
Greed. I'm sat in a seat next to Greed.
You just turn into a spider and Greed just goes.
Thank you, Chris. I was trying to find the button and then I realised it's right.
Well, right.
as this hulking 9-foot sort of hippo turns into this little, into this sort of ginger Maine Coon.
Well,
He just sort of looks at Denny and just sort of cocks his head to the side slightly.
it's all very well and good, but whilst cats hold a special place in my heart, and I know can be quite dangerous, I don't see a cat taking down Izek. Particularly not with that arm of his.
That arm of his?
Ah, you haven't heard the rumors about Izek?
Rumors?
Well, you've met him, correct?
Met him?
Octavian nods.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Correct.
Did you ever wonder why he kept one of his arms covered the entire time?
Just sort of nods again.
Well, the rumors say that that arm of his hidden under there. Well, a long time ago he came back without an arm, and now he has a new one that isn't quite human.
I see.
Quite dangerous.
So, if we are able to get close to this Izek to deal with him, we just keep away from his arm.
That would be advisable, but as I said, if you try to deal with him, unless you do it quietly somehow, you will likely have to deal with the guards, because unfortunately, they currently serve the Burgomaster. Roll insight, Misha.
Is it a 20?
Yeah.
It is a 20.
I will say... how to explain this? It is more for her own benefit than the benefit of the town. And sort of as you get her words at points, there is a certain amount of venom in them when she mentions anything to do with the Burgomaster himself. So if anything, it's getting rid of the Burgomaster is really sort of the issue, but there is a greater desire behind it, if that makes sense.
So this is targeted at the current Burgermeister, and not so much as her own position. I mean,
I will say that
it is nice to have the position, but it feels more like she wants to get rid of Baron because the Baron is doing something that disgusts her.
Yes, I will say that, but I will say you probably get the idea that she wants the Burgomaster position, but not necessarily for the town's sake.
Okay. Do I have any clue that town would be worse off with her? Or is there no actual indication from the current conversation?
It's not really clear at the moment.
Yeah, okay.
As she seems quite open to allow you to talk to others in the household about her.
Yeah.
But obviously, I would say you'd get a sense of, and of course, they will all vouch for me because.
Yeah. Obviously. Yeah, okay. So for me, it is going to be a huge gamble. Okay.
I'm going to briefly return to Sigma for a moment to see what's going on with Sigma. Sigma, what are you up to?
Yeah, I've been speaking to
The cats.
Miss Amalthea. I've noticed that there's something going on with this particular bookcase. I was debating on what to do as I am speaking to her, and I know how much money is her pay.
If you want me to catch you up, James,
Yeah,
because I don't know if you can see those private messages.
I can see Sigma's responses, but not yours.
Not mine. Okay, so it went like this. They were making idle chatter as they were dusting the place, and then Sigma, you said you can say it.
Well, yeah. I asked about the
Seemed odd.
it seemed odd for the cat to have a key on its collar, and she told me that
She admits, she doesn't entirely know what it is for, just that Lady Fiona has her own pet guard it. And they all have a rather vicious demeanor, so she doesn't dare check the key herself. And then there was an inside check, and Sigma could tell that her eyes seemed to break away from theirs. As she spoke, her eyes kind of flitted towards the corner of the room when they were mentioning the key.
Okay.
now she's dusting over the bookcase, and I'm trying to figure out what I want to do.
And now, when Sigma offered to tidy go over there into that corner, she sort of stammered and was like, "I'll tidy that corner, please. Allow me. I wouldn't want the lady at the house to think I wasn't being thorough in my maidly duties."
Looking after her, I will point above her to a little bit of the rafter where she literally can't reach without like a long on the ceiling, and I'll say, "What about up there?" As I point above her head, clearly where I could reach.
I'll just let you continue to handle this, Chris. See what has
All right.
been
Okay then.
doing this.
She, thank you. She says, sort of nervously, feigning a smile, and she lets you. She kind of pushes her back up against the bookcase and lets you reach up to the top.
This is a weirdly sensual situation to be with the character that is just not even aware of that.
I will also say that she is trying to avoid getting anywhere near the cats. Whilst you're dusting, some of the cats are lounging around on shelves, on tables, and do you dust near them or attempt to move them at all?
I would probably dust near one of them before knowing what's going on.
Okay. They eye you incredibly closely as your duster gets closer and closer towards their waving tails. But you can't. They're not moving. They're not budging.
Okay. So, what got you into this job, Miss Amalthea?
Oh, well, Lady Fiona is a prestigious woman. She's well respected and has a beautiful home. I thought
How did you come into this place?
Well, yes, anyone would want to work for a lady like that. She pays well, and as I say, she has an excellent home. She treats her servants well. She's a strong and powerful woman. I respect her a lot. Working under her offers almost a sense of security as well.
Sigma will ask sort of calmly as he speaks, as he sort of is leaning up to get above, as he says, I have someone I know like that, as I said, but I do see a twinge of fear. I won't tell anyone, but I'm curious. One servant to another.
Tell you what?
Why are you
I'm
afraid of
sure
it?
I don't follow. Well, I am afraid if I step out of line, if I don't do my job well, or say something I shouldn't, perhaps something to belittle her.
My lady is known for her discipline.
She doesn't seem to have any obvious signs of discipline, harsh discipline on her or anything like that.
Mhm.
But this fear is perhaps not out of not out of like a threat of physical violence, but something else perhaps.
Oh, Sigma's just trying to be personable.
Yes. You can tell she's incredibly awkward at the mention of like something like you want to tell her, as if she's incredibly awkward when you suggest there might be something that she wants to get off her chest, but she is not going to seemingly betray her mistress. She clearly has a tone of fear and respect, a combination of the two.
Mm-hmm.
She says, I'm sorry, I'm not quite comfortable talking like this about the mistress behind her back, and I have my duties I must attend to. I think we're actually done here. In fact, she looks around the room hastily. Yes, this is fine.
Can I roll a perception to see more dust?
You can actually already tell there's lots of dust underneath where the cats are, and possibly around some of the windows as well. But that's because they probably need like a cleaning, like a different substance rather than like a duster.
Can I stealthily,
There's,
as I'm
hanging
stepping
vines.
away, unlatch this window? Just sort of as I'm dusting, just sort of stealthily, flick the latch.
Yeah. That's probably be just a sleight of hand. She's already turning her back.
Oh, bad Sigma.
Nah, she doesn't notice. She's already headed towards the door. And she does turn though and says, "Oh, if you'd like to follow me, please."
Right.
I will return to the others briefly. Right, Misha. I believe you potentially wanted to say something.
I forgot.
I forgot.
Or if anyone else wants to say anything.
Do I manage to get my puppet hand to hold a knife?
No.
She told me to go downstairs. Okay, that makes sense.
It is incapable of holding anything.
I'm going to get you removed.
It just sort of looks at you and you hear in your head and just goes, like to see you try, big man?
I will incinerate you once you're off my hand.
And I will drink every drop of your blood before then.
I mean, there's a lot of it.
Good, I'm hungry.
You've already
Octavian, get your hand puppet out that glass of water.
just trying to drown the hand puppet. Just waterboarding it.
Oh,
Just like, I don't like water, it's not red enough.
it's. We can provide wine.
This is all telepathic, by the way.
Oh,
But anyway,
I will
So-
waterboard this puppet.
your servant has returned. Amalthea, did they do anything they shouldn't? Were they at least helpful?
Yes, very helpful, your lady. She's
Excellent.
the room's all dusted.
Excellent.
Is there anything else you'd like me to do?
They think for a moment and then just go, no, that would be all. You can return to your room or go aid in the kitchen if you wish.
Very good.
Sorry, can I wreck on that whole conversation with the puppet, James? Remember, I'm still technically a cat.
It's telepathic, so you could still be having that conversation telepathically.
It's a very good point.
Meow, 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 meow.
I mean, it's not. It's now like a wolf version of Strahd, I would say, specifically.
Oh yeah, cats.
Yeah,
Can
yes.
I roll stealth to try and sit on Greed's? Just like climb over onto Greed.
Sure, why not? Reed, you see Octavian trying to climb onto your lap. Do you react in any way to this, Greed?
Sorry, could you say that again? I missed that.
Octavian tries to climb onto your lap in cat form.
Oh, is it Catavian?
It's AV.
Actually, I'm gonna.
Now that I've actually got prestidigitation, Reed will just allow it.
Just trying to actually get you into your wild shape, but
That's all right. He's actually gonna like curl up on Greed and just sort of close his eyes. You know where cats do that sort of. Their eyes are almost closed.
We'll just go, he is kind of cute, isn't he? Especially when you forget he's a giant hippo.
there you go.
Oh,
Right. Well. So, are you willing to deal with my problem? Or should we consider this meeting finished?
the issue was Isa, right?
Izek, yes.
Izek.
I mean, Octavian will just look up at Greed and just sort of nod.
Mm.
Even he's sort of why not?
I think that's quite fair for the information that you've given us. And as per the nature of this issue, I'm hoping that you can say we are of some in an alliance with each other.
Of course, as long as you don't do anything to upset my goals, I won't do anything to upset yours.
Of course.
And I will do what I can to assist.
Well, our business is normally not of this land, so anything that we can do while we're here, I'm sure we're more than happy to oblige.
Yes. Well, I suppose as one last bit of information, I should tell you about the rumors regarding the Baron. As I said earlier, or hinted to, people who displease the Baron tend to disappear. But not permanently. Though once they return, let's just say the forced smiling is no longer an act.
I see.
And strangely, which is why I refuse to drink the stuff, they are the only ones capable of drinking water without feeling ill. Or at least, so the rumors say.
The water?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we know that something is tainting the water towards the north.
Yes, the lake.
Yeah, we really
Certainly.
investigate that lake.
That may be worth doing once you are able to leave town. Or once you have to leave town.
Speaking of leaving town, if something were to happen to Isaac, and we get implicated in some malicious business, is there any way you can assist us in getting out?
I will.
Entirely on us.
Well, I will have friendly eyes watching you, and if there is a way that I can be of assistance, I will do what I can.
Was that your errand boy by any chance?
Ah, you mean Ernst? Yes,
Oh.
a useful person to have about. He's quite a good judge of character.
Very much so.
I suppose that's why he brought you before me.
I do hope you pay him well.
Very well. Some would say too well, but worth every penny, I believe.
That is good.
Yes. Well, Madalena, come through, please. The servants walk through. I believe our guests have finished with their meal and will be due to depart shortly. Could you be ready to see them out? I'm going to go speak with Ernst. And then she just nods. I will bid you all farewell. I hope you enjoyed your meal, and I look forward to future business dealings together.
Bree will stand and will take a bow. The pleasure was all ours. Thank you for being such a gracious host.
It is only what's to be expected.
Of course.
Right, everyone.
What's to be expected?
Yep, I heard it too.
Right. Is everyone ready to go? Anything? No. Well, I don't think you took off your shoes or anything when you arrived, so
Greed
so
just
I'll
gets
show you out.
I'll say just before Greed gets a look of absolute disgust off of Octavian for standing up.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't even stop to check.
Just the look of
You
really.
traitor.
Yeah. The sort of if looks could kill.
Like a true cat.
And Octavian's just gonna
Um,
walk out with his tail sort of stuck. Yeah.
Right. She leads over to the front door and opens it for you.
Okay, we look at the two brothers over in the sofas and just sort of incline his head towards the floor.
And one of them just goes, "Oh, more cats."
I wonder. No, because I wouldn't know about that. That's right.
Nope. Right. Right.
I won't shut the door.
Be impressed for a cat to do so.
I mean, my cat used to.
Because these are stained glass doors.
Yeah.
Yeah, before leaving, I would actually, wave and acknowledge the boys. But I
They
do think
nod
there's
and
going to be
raise
a-
a glass towards you.
Yeah. We'll be seeing you later. And then I will leave. I assume. Oh. We already. Ready?
Sigma will go over and whisper about the library and stuff to Misha. That there appears to be either a secret compartment or something hidden up there. That there's a cat, and that I left the window latch open.
It does sound interesting, but do we really want to antagonize any patrons now?
Is this said out loud?
Sigma whispers it to Misha, like in Misha's ear.
Does Misha respond?
Yeah, I will respond harsh, but you might overhear it.
Yeah, I mean, up to the DM, I guess, if I hear on it.
Have a passive perception of over 12.
Oh yeah, most likely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
yours is like
you're
13.
within 5 feet, so you would have heard it.
I'm not trying to hide it from the rest of the group. I'm just specifically giving you the information.
Yeah.
Greed will just say behind you in a hushed tone. It's probably not best to start planning an espionage mission on our host. They have been gracious enough to give us information. They aren't our enemy. They're merely just doing business. But they're a lot powerful than even we will comprehend.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she definitely is powerful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not sure how she's going to use said power. But yes, you are right. We shouldn't antagonize her.
I don't trust her.
I trust her about as much as she trusts us. We're strangers to her, and the fact that she even allowed us for this meeting without any kind of prior knowledge is, well, it's quite unheard of for a lady of her stature. But we should be grateful that we're even walking out that building alive. But she has eyes and ears everywhere in this city, perhaps all over Barovia. So it's best that we keep on her good side.
I think that there are mysteries to be found here.
Octavian just sort of loudly sort of meows and twitches his head towards the gate as if to sort of say, let's not have this conversation outside their door.
Alright, where would the
Move
party
on.
like to go? You've probably got a good 2-3 hours before you need to arrive for lunch.
Oh god, yeah, we're having lunch at the Burgomaster.
We're having
Fucking-
lunch at the Burgomaster.
That's,
Yep.
Why can't we just have 5 minutes to chill?
that's something I was meant.
You guys were the ones who arranged these meetings.
I don't have the rumors because I had to step away because I got a nosebleed. So could someone fill me in real quick on the rumors?
Oh no.
So the major rumors are that Izek has a strange arm that he didn't have when he first came to town, because he came to town without an arm. Or with an arm missing, should I say. That an arm makes it sound like he's missing both. And he keeps it hidden because it's not entirely human. The other is that people that go against the Baron temporarily disappear. And when they return, they do not seem to be forcing their smiles, and they are able to drink the water.
Yeah. Okay. So people that have disappeared, they be happy. No, happy.
Happy.
Yeah.
Yappy.
Yappy.
Some reason, if I could do it, I would love to do Gaddoff with Goofy's voice, but I can't do that voice. It just feels appropriate.
That's something I was going to ask. Rictavio said he was going to his caravan.
Yes, he was going to pack up and then head to his caravan because he's going to leave town.
I will come out of my cat shape.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're dealing with this person, are we going to want to do it up front, or are we going to wire to?
He wants
Uh,
Irina.
he wants Irina. Yeah.
We could
Yes, but if we're going
lure him somewhere else, secluded.
to, I had I've got an idea, but I need to know if I can get hold of certain items. I think Rictavio would probably be the best person to ask, as he has affiliation to.
Sorry, can you repeat that part?
Oh, sorry.
need
Oh,
an
sorry. I was saying there's some items that I'd like to try and see if I can hold. And as Rictavio has no allegiance to town, which I'm getting back to people. And I believe a man like him may have or know how to get hold of it quickly.
Then we should rush to meet him. If you need to see him.
Yeah, I think it might be an idea. I mean, I'll swing by the inn as it's on the way down the road just to see if he's there or not.
Yeah. Doesn't seem to be in the inn, I will say.
Right. Then I will move. I sort of say we're going to have to be quick to try and catch him. And I'll start sort of running down the street.
Keep on smiling, boy.
Yeah. Oh, I've got a big grin on my face.
Okay.
Mm.
I don't know why it moved me backwards.
I will say, as a note, the past hour, Sigma's barely acknowledged Octavian.
Yeah, it's been
Oh.
noticed.
Oh yeah, Misha would definitely have said something along the lines that, yeah, you did great work in the house. Give you some praise. Who was a good boy? Sigma has been such a great boy.
I didn't get anything of note.
I'll shout
It
out to
still did
Rictavio
great.
as we're in range.
Oh, yes. It's you lot.
Yes, I apologise for coming to you again just before you're leaving. However, I've coming to a sort of situation, and as you don't seem to be affiliated with, I believe you might have been the best person to ask.
Okay. And what did you require?
I don't suppose you would know where I could get hold of some things such as nightshade or of plants or ingredients of the like.
Mm. He thinks for a moment
Give him a very sort of knowing look.
and then yeah. Just check something. If you are seeking information about where you can find things, your best bet is to ask the ravens.
Of course, it was more I don't suppose.
You think that I would carry such materials?
Potentially. Not as I'm not trying to judge your character, however, my understanding of the conversation earlier, something like that you possess.
My particular focus, he looks about, is undead. So that sort of thing, and other monstrosities of that sort of ilk. That's not really my sort of thing.
Well, there's other monstrosities punctuated by him looking at Sigma.
No.
Okay.
In this case, if anything, I would say more there was a brief glance towards Misha. The closest I have to what you're looking for would be garlic, and if what you're looking for is for what I intend, then unless you are dealing with the right sort of person, you're not going to have much luck with garlic and salt.
Let's just say the being we have to deal with has a rather unique limb.
Well, then I would suggest you find out more so that you can prepare for it. A good hunter doesn't go in blind.
Of course, it was merely a thought to ask Left-Town if you would possess or know contain such items as a precaution. I apologise for delaying your departure.
It is fine, but you will... Poison is not the honourable ways to deal with such things.
Honourable, no. Necessary sometimes, yes. Octavian just has a very sort of, at that he just sort of looks very, the look of, I know that. Not pride, but very sort of, it's a very disdainful look, but I don't know how to explain it. I know what I'm trying to think of, but I can't think of the words. Look of sort of knowing what he's saying is right, but also knowing that sometimes that is like the more efficient way to save lives.
Yes. The problem with that method is you've got to make sure that they are the only ones who will target it.
Of course.
If others accidentally get that, then their injuries or death would be on your hands as well. Precision is the key. Know your target, know when to strike, and know how to strike. Much like in a performance, you have to know your audience.
I never thought of it as a...
What left? Sigma left.
Yeah, we lost
we
Sigma.
lost a Sigma.
It is... Everything is a performance. If you are looking to eliminate a target without being caught, then you are performing the role of an assassin. Would you not be? In that case, you very much need to know your audience. Welcome back with a musical twang.
Yes.
Alright, we are about to depart, and I have to get the timing of this right, so...
Before you go, I'm going to sort of gesture to the wagon.
Yes.
You awake?
Not at the moment. I put them to sleep for the time being until we're out of town. Don't want the guards getting too focused on my wagon.
I'll give him my best wishes.
Of course.
And to you as well. May our paths cross again at some point soon.
I suspect they will if our goals are as aligned as I hope.
I'll be honest with you. My goal is to get the hell out of here.
Can I call out Octavio to his remark earlier?
Sure.
Do we have some problem?
Not for now. Though, I assume that you were kept alive for a reason, so I won't judge too harshly. But may Bahamut's light brand you all in glory. With that, he begins to head away.
Remember what will happen if they kill someone innocent.
And remember what will happen to them if they kill someone innocent, or you kill someone innocent, or any of your group.
Can I do a religion check to see if I know the name back?
Sure.
Coming from where I come from. I
Sure.
don't know if that would be a known name there, or...
Give me a roll. I'm going to say no, it's not one you're aware of.
I'll just sort of... I'll just furrow his brow, sort of turn his head slightly and go, Bahamut? Like, questioningly.
I should know him, right?
Oh yeah, you and Sigma definitely do.
I will be confused because
Dragon.
as far as I know, I am not related to Bahamut or whatsoever, right?
Hmm.
Did I know? Would I know? You know what?
Okay.
I am going to roll religion for this.
Yeah. Yes, you can. You can roll me religion or... Oh, apparently...
I am proficient in religion, and with this, I will
you
probably know.
roll again. You would have advantage on this for reasons.
Okay.
I
Okay.
presume Dahlia made sure I knew.
Just to make
Yeah.
sure, James, I'm gonna...
Yeah, it wouldn't be enough. Or is that for them?
Oh, for them?
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be a 20.
So, Misha, you would be aware that the symbol of the Light Brand family is a dragon, and that links back to, is at least through some families' beliefs, and particularly yours, is meant to be Bahamut, which is why it is Light Brand, because it is believed that Bahamut's breath is a radiant weapon.
Who is this?
Sorry?
Bahamut? I was like, Octavian will to say, who is this Bahamut? I've never
Bahamut.
heard the name.
It is the ancient platinum dragon. The dragons or the dragonborn, they see them as their creator deity or part of. There's the duality between Bahamut, the lawful dragon, and Tiamat's chaotic dragon.
I'm going to assume I wouldn't know who Tiamat is either in this situation.
Yeah.
Or would you like a roll for again, James?
You would.
Oh.
Yes.
Because as someone who travels through the astral sea and travels on ships through the astral sea, you will have most likely have had at least some run-ins with the Githyanki, who are obviously known for their red dragons. And red dragons are, of course, linked to Tiamat, so you would at least have heard the name, if not more details.
Yep. That one
Yeah.
I know of. I've met the... And I'll just, as you just I'll just explain the Yankee and their red dragons. Yes, that one I've heard of, but never heard of this. I really do need to take some time to look up the deities of this realm.
And I'm going to say, Misha, that Lucian will briefly pop up in your head, just for the briefest of moments, and just go, Tiamat and Bahamut, nobody ever remembers the third one. And that's all they say.
I will repeat that part to myself. Third one.
Yeah,
Uh,
you'll
yeah.
have to study for that one.
Oh, really? Okay. Belmar would know. I
Palmar
assume.
might. Palmar actually is.
Belmar is related to the third one.
Yes, Palmar would know. And do you mutter the third bit out loud or just in your head?
I will voice it to myself, and it's up for people if they decide to hear it or not.
Okay,
Oh, I mean, I'm interested.
I'm going to roll a religion check for Palmar, because whilst they should know it, that doesn't mean they do know it.
Considering his nature, I don't know his proficiencies, but history would make sense as well.
Yeah, but it's the same for both, so...
Okay.
You know what, actually, I can give this... I can also do it from this. I'll do it with this one. No, it's not something that they're aware of. Or at least, like...
I don't think Palmar would
perhaps-
tell us anyway.
Yeah, Palmar just sort of shrugs.
Would it be a name I would be familiar with for any reason?
No. No.
Yeah, the third one is a special one.
Yeah.
I mean, out of game, I know who it is, but
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah. Right. But with that, where are you heading off to next? You probably still got a little bit before luncheon. Is there anything you would like to do to prepare, or?
Sigma will speak up to the group and say, soon we will need to do something about our weapons. Half of everything I've cut into has done nothing but dull the blades faster.
Maybe Father Lucian might know someone able to bless our weapons, or can teach me how to bless the weapons. There should be ways.
It's just something to be aware of.
Do we have any way? If I were to actually cast, what's the spell again? If I were to cast Divine Favor on my weapon, does that make it a magical weapon that negates the half damage?
Let me read the spell quickly. No, but the radiant damage would be
Okay.
Wouldn't be halved. So your weapon would halve, but then the radiant would make up for that half essentially.
Okay.
But at least one of your weapons is silver, so
yeah, but silver doesn't bypass regular resistance.
no.
The silver part only makes it easier to consecrate it.
Yeah.
And also both of my weapons are silvered.
True. Yeah. You also have like your smites and divine smite that can help overcome things.
But there is Sigma's weapons.
Yes. honestly, to some extent, part of your best bet is probably going to be to just have someone to coat the weapon in holy water if and when they're needed. But
how long does it last? Is it until the first strike?
yeah, unfortunately,
Yeah,
That's the
think
trouble.
that is too expensive because we also
is-
need holy water to consecrate weapons.
yeah.
That is expensive and not very useful.
No.
It is.
It can be
useful,
marginally
but
useful, but
yeah,
It's good if you want to burst damage.
yeah,
for the first strike, the thing is one strike isn't. I'm a multi-hitter.
yeah.
Well, I suppose what are you guys going to do now? Because don't really have options for getting the magic at the moment, or enchanted weapons, unless you do go to the church and see if Father Lucian can help.
Palmer.
Almar, of course,
Yeah.
might be
Oh
able
yeah,
to, but
Pelmar actually is able to, but he has a very limited amount of infusions, and one of them is his what's the word? The alchemy jar,
Wait.
and
Mhm.
the other one is Greed's magical focus, I believe.
yeah.
And sadly, I would, to be very functional, I'd have to take 2, which would be a lot of.
Yeah.
That'd be very expensive for Palmar.
At least at this stage.
Yeah.
Though with the right,
You can also cast magical weapon.
can they?
Oh,
No, not then.
weak.
I can't yet.
Soon. That'll be one option though.
James,
Yeah.
could
Mhm.
I ask Palmer if he could use his alchemy jug to make me half an ounce of poison?
That is well within the power of the alchemy jug.
Yes. Half an ounce is a considerable amount of.
Yeah. But it is quite an amount. That
I mean, it's not the
Oh.
8 gallons of fresh water it can make, but
whether Palma would be willing to, I actually don't know at this point, unless Greed tells them to, because I imagine they listen to Greed. But they haven't really done
Yeah, I was
much
gonna
with
say.
the alchemy jug yet, so
It's not Palmer you have to convince.
Yeah.
I'm just going to look at Greed and go, would you ask? Because I think that could be a way to deal with.
So,
I forgot his bloody name again, sorry.
Isaac.
Yes.
Isaac.
It could be a potential way to deal with it.
So,
I was hinting at with.
in terms of Greed asking Palmar to use it, if it, from a player's perspective, if it's not taxing to the item or doesn't take anything away or anything like that,
Basically,
then
all it would do is it would be its use for the day.
oh, okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't want to take it away for Woody to then not be able to use it if he has an idea next week.
Yeah, I mean, that is also fair. I would ask them, but I don't know how likely they are to respond to me in quick time.
Oh, and what we'll do, hold off of it for now, because I can't see us dealing with starting Isaac like tonight. Sort of. But
Yeah.
we can ask Woody next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm sure he'll be fine. It's just,
Yeah, it was just a thought, because I remember I went, hold on, the alchemy, acid, poison.
Yeah.
May I say the description of the alchemy jar?
Sure.
For the alchemy jar, once per day, you can determine, it's going to create this kind of liquids. It doesn't state at what point of the day. It just once per day you can say, okay, it's going to create this kind of liquids.
Yeah.
And then for the entire day, you can create an X amount of liquids, and depending on the value, it determines how much liquid you can make. And I believe for poison, it is only 1 or 2 units. I'm not entirely sure about that amount.
It's
So
half an
violent
ounce.
Oh, half an ounce even.
Yeah.
That is a very small amount. For water, you can create up to 8 gallons, I believe. It's a lot.
Yeah, I've got the list of what it can make.
Oh, okay.
12 gallons of salt water.
Oh, 12 even. Oh, wow.
So that's salt water. Fresh water is 8.
Yeah, but that is interesting, because if you create 12 gallons of salt water and then you purify it, you have 12 gallons of pure water.
Yeah. I mean, it can make 4 gallons of beer.
Even better.
I don't think this is too important.
Yeah.
The one that could be very important is the fact that it can make a quart of oil as well.
Quarter of an ounce? Or
A quart of oil. So a quart is just under a liter.
oh,
So it can make roughly a liter of
That's like
oil a day.
That's like 3, 4, 5 Molotovs worth.
It's effectively 2 US pints, I believe.
Yeah, that's 3, 4, or 5 Molotovs.
Oh no, sorry, 4 cups for you who
Yeah.
know the US measurements for
And
that.
Do you normally any
Yeah.
of things in Molotovs?
So I mean, I would argue that's like 4 Molotov worth.
That is of interesting information.
But yeah, so it can make 4 gallons of beer, or a quart of oil, or 2 gallons of mayonnaise.
I love
Mayonnaise is still the weirdest one on that.
I mean, a gallon of honey's pretty bloody impressive. Think how much mead you can make. Sorry.
Sigma will say we could scout the Burgermeister's house. I could go see what's in that.
oh, wait, there still is
Purple.
the purple mark thing.
The purple room. I could go look in the window.
One thing I did do is, if I can have 10 minutes, is ritual cast Speak with Animals, because as Octavio said, speak to the ravens.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to do Speak with Animal. Yeah, ritual cast Speak with Animals if possible.
If the party are willing to wait the 10 minutes, you do have
If
time.
not, I'll cast it. I've got it prepared, but I'd rather save the spells.
Yeah, that's fine. 10 minutes is easily like.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
happy to wait. Greed will complain the entire way through.
Just gets the stink eye.
You know what? While Octavian is going to the talk with animals, I will try to see if I can detect sources of poison or disease.
Okay. Uh, yeah. Nearby. What's the range on that? Sorry, I actually.
Oh,
13.
is it 30 feet? It is.
It says down on the bottom, 30-foot radius.
Okay.
I assume that any spot of water is probably contaminated.
Yeah, pretty much every spot of water has a certain amount of contamination.
As you guys are casting the spells, you would also hear like the rhythmic sound of Sigma running a sharpener against his a whetstone against his blades.
Ooh.
Okay, so whilst
And
that's
he is-
going on, nope, continue.
He has his back turned towards Octavian.
Oh.
Even if that means he's looking at a wall.
Okay, after a little bit, the rituals are done.
Is there a raven around me? Or anywhere?
Yeah, there's always seems to be one.
I will call up to it. I'm going to be speaking. Just because, to me, it sort of makes sense to that sort of language. I don't know.
Yeah, it flies down and says, "What do you want?"
I'm going to ask it if it knows
What you want?
toxins or poisonous plants in a close, either within the town limits or just the other side of it.
Yeah. What about it?
I don't suppose you happen to know what there is, do you? Where?
There's plenty in the woods.
Octavio said to speak to you if I needed the information.
There's plenty in the woods for those that are willing to risk the journey.
I don't suppose there's a way that you could gather some.
Ooh,
Make
so it's a
it worth your
favor.
while.
So it's a favor you're looking for, and what's in it for me?
Is there anything you require?
I'm a
Unfortunately,
raven.
I'm a bit.
What do you think a raven wants? Go on, make me an offer.
A lump of cheese.
That would make you a rat, actually, not a raven.
Oh, ravens also love cheese. Who doesn't love cheese?
I like cheese, but cheese doesn't like me.
Oh.
I mean, from my knowledge of birds such as yourself,
Mm-hmm.
you enjoy company, and decent food.
I do like company, which is why I normally hang with the other ravens. And as for decent food, well, who doesn't like decent food? Am I right? I mean, you clearly like decent food.
I'm a vegetarian.
Clearly, he doesn't.
but I can still. I mean,
And I'll pull out some of the meat rations that I've got in my pack and just sort of start feeding it little pieces.
I mean, this is all you got?
I mean, no, but it's what I've got at the moment. I'm saying I can't get you something better.
Like what? Make me an offer.
I mean, I can get you some nice wolf steak.
Yeah, I had that yesterday. What else you got?
I'm going to look at the raven and go, have you ever heard of a good berry?
Yeah.
Have you ever tasted one before?
Not for a while.
Do you know how good they are?
They can be pretty yummy, but then you've not got any room for anything else, so it's kind of in that regard.
Okay, then.
I mean,
What? I was looking at this. I'm not from this realm, as you quite see.
Yeah, the blind man could see that.
Of course. So tell me, what is your wishes?
What is your deepest desire?
Yes. What do you desire? I was trying to think of the line and I got it wrong.
Uh,
Yeah. I mean, the funny thing is, he's got that very similar accent.
He sort of considers things for a moment. It's like, I want a hat.
Any specific style of hat?
Well, that's for you to decide. And if you get me a good enough hat, then I might go get then I'll get you what you want. But I'm not going to make any promises. I might hate the hat you do. You got to see how good a judgment you are. I'll give you some time to think, and if you need me, just I'll be about. And you don't need to cast your spell. I can talk to you anyway. I'm good like that.
Okay, then I'll incline my head and go, thank you very much.
oh, so we can all hear the conversation.
What is your name, by the way? What can I call you? I don't want to be rude and just say call you bird or raven. That just seems very unpersonal.
You can call me Rodriguez.
Yes. If you turn around and say quaff, I'm going to slap.
No, Quaff is my albino cousin.
Okay, that's fine.
But anyway, yeah, you guys can all hear this conversation going on. This Raven has just requested a hat.
I mean, they would understand one half of it. I was speaking in.
Yeah, they don't understand Octavian's half. And the Raven just flies off.
Looking, going, I need a hat. Need a hat.
The Raven needs a hat, right?
Well, yeah.
A hat for a bird, eh?
Yeah. I love the perfect design.
I've already got something written up.
I just need someone who can work with leather and metal. And I'm going to look at Palmar.
And I look at Sigmar. Sigma.
As you look at Sigma, all you hear is just the rhythmic sound of a whetstone against blade. He's not even looking at any of you. He's got his just back turned away.
I'm going to look at breeding. You have ink and paper, yes?
Obviously.
Can I borrow or use some?
Of course.
And I will sketch out this idea for a hat. Effectively, James, the hat that I have thought for it is the hat that a plague doctor.
Plague doctor mask for a raven.
Well, not the mask, but the hat to go on top of the.
That's so good.
Yeah, that's the wizard hat, but with the flat top, right?
It's like the wide brimmed hat with the flattened top. Yeah.
Yeah.
Put a sort of idea in thinking of him.
Like this, you mean? To some extent.
Yes, funnily enough, I was looking. This.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
that's exactly where I got the idea from, Chris. A plague doctor. It works.
We need to get him a little shoulder cape too.
What I was going to. When it flew off, James, did it leave any feathers? Feathers.
Nope.
Damn it. And I can't turn into a bird yet.
Yep.
God damn Damn it, that's that idea ruined.
Well,
Never kind of turning to flying.
it's not a while. It's for a while, yeah.
Level 8, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that. So with that, weapons effectively sharpened, deals with birds effectively made, poisons found in water about. Are you heading towards the Burgomaster's house?
I am rereading the details of detect poison and disease, and it also mentions that I can determine the nature of the poison.
Okay, that's
Okay.
cool.
You also identify the kind of poison, poisonous creature, or disease in each case. Does that give me a bit more information about the water?
Okay, let me check something briefly.
I whispered you.
Oh, you whispered me. Yeah. Essentially, I'm gonna say it's not so much. Well, it is, but it isn't. It's kind of hard to explain. I will say it's not something that you're familiar with, first of all. But there seems to be almost calling a disease is almost the wrong word. Even calling a poison, it's more sort of think how like alcohol loosens you up to some extent. This is something akin to that, but of a different sort. But that's all you can really tell. It's basically making you more susceptible to something.
The difference between a poison and disease is the source. A poison is like a non-living entity that makes you ill. A disease is a self-multiplying poison, basically.
Yeah. I would say it doesn't really. It sort of vaguely registers as it, but not enough to really give you anything more. You would need probably you would need a larger source of it, or perhaps more knowledge.
So
Yeah.
it is not that it detects poison on disease, but it's just a residue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. That's good. Just need to check something briefly. Definitely not. If it's that base, you might. No. Read maybe. No. Misha. Oh, I haven't noticed. Yeah. So, with that in mind, I think, considering where you're about to go and considering it's another probably quite a detailed thing, that seems a good place to wrap it up for this week. And then potentially, if we have Palmar back, they can definitely determine if they want to provide the poison, which you would then use for your thing. So we'll wrap it up there. And we'll be back again, of course, next week. Of course, join us for the various other games that we play. Are the other Icewind group back tomorrow, or are they still off?
We should
Yeah, I'm back.
resume tomorrow
Okay.
after a 3-week hiatus.
Okay, so the Icewind group that have no name will be back tomorrow, hopefully. The Icewind group that have a name, the Icewind Trekkers, will be back on Sunday. And the Jumping Junipers for Wild Beyond the Witch will be back Monday, and then we'll be back Tuesday. Until then,
Frog
farewell for
politics.
now.
Bye bye.
Wahoo!
Bye bye.
Bye bye.